Welcome, everyone. It's 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and we've opened up the room this evening. So we have a few women who are already on the screen. And if you'd like to put your cameras on, yes, Kathleen, thank you so much for putting your camera on. We're going to encourage everybody tonight to do so to make this more interactive as more people join. Beth, thank you so much. And ladies, if you can, please let us know in the chat where you are joining us from this evening. It's nice to know where everybody's coming in from. Washington. Fantastic. Let me shrink this. California, Colorado, Orchard Park, New York. All right, so far, I'm the only Canadian in the room tonight. This is great. Okay, so we are going to just take about 2 minutes to make sure everybody can jump in on the call, and then we will get started. I will introduce myself to you, and we're going to have a fun and a very interactive evening as well. It's always fun to meet everybody, hear what they're going through, and to talk a little bit about my favorite topic, which is astrology. I've gone down the rabbit hole and I can't get out. It's taken over. All right. Oh, yeah, we got one more person. Kathleen. Oh, Kathleen's jumping back in. Okay. Well, we've got a few ladies, other ladies, Euro, and it's hard to see Anne. Again, if you'd like to join us and put your lovely face on the screen, that would be fantastic to make it more interactive for all of you. Thanks to my video, I saw the gorgeous moon last night. Yes. Yes, Lou, we're going to talk a little bit about that today, actually. So yes, I have a few little rituals that I love talking about. Marnisha. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to start, and as everybody comes in, we'll just keep it rolling because I really am trying to stay on time for everybody. So all of you fabulous women, I just want to welcome you here tonight. And again, if you've just jumped in or if you haven't had a minute yet, please just let us know in the chat where you're joining in from, and just so that we can hold in our energy together. And also, I'm going to encourage everyone to really stop multitasking, because I know so many of us women can do so many things at once, but I want to allow you to give yourself permission tonight to give this event 100% of your focus, and it will just allow you to have more of a magical experience this evening. My name is Tamron, and I am a woman's wellness astrologer, and I'm your host this evening. And again, I just want to say thank you for carving out your precious time to be here with me and to connect with all of the other amazing women that are here with us tonight. And really, now that I'm much wiser in this stage of my life, I really do honor time. And everything just seems to happen so fast. And this really is a powerful point in our lives where women can become healthier and authentically happier. Because I honestly believe that health is wealth. Like, who agrees with this statement? Yeah, absolutely, right? We're feeling it now at this stage. So again, welcome to this masterclass. It is free. And I just want to remind you that it really is possible to learn how to use an astrological birth chart to help you begin creating a personalized wellness action plan to restore a balanced mind, body, and spirit using this ancient wisdom. And by the end of our time together tonight, you will walk away with at least one powerful action step to get you started so you can begin feeling better tonight. Okay. But remember to stay until the end of the masterclass to receive the bonus gift that I have for you, because I'm on a mission to supporting more women so that they have choices in front of them. So let's step into our power together now during the age of Aquarius, where I believe astrology and holistic health is the future to becoming everyday tools in the mainstream for our overall health and emotional well-being, because now it's your time to embrace this ancient wisdom. And I'm going to offer just a little bit of basic housekeeping and to remind you also that this really is a safe place to share anything that comes up for you tonight. So what happens in this online room stays in the room. Does everyone agree? Yeah, right? And also, because you have registered for this event, you will receive a live recording in a follow-up email within the next 48 hours. And also, there will be times when I will pause from the teaching about the 3 steps that I am going to teach you tonight so that you can ask questions. So please hold on during the presentation and we'll make some time for you. And I have three amazing assistants here with me tonight, and they're going to keep track of what's happening in the chat. If you have any questions that you really need answered, they're going to make sure that I do pause and stop so that you get your questions answered for you. Okay. I can't see the chat. I'm using some new technology tonight, so they're going to be there just to make sure they can read everything, but I can see you on the screens. Okay. So, ladies, raise your hand or pop a yes in the chat if you are wanting to know the 3 secret astrological steps to reclaim your spark and vitality based on the ancient wisdom of astrology, right? I mean, this is why we're all here. So, be honest, raise your hand if lately you've just been lacking motivation. Maybe even this past weekend. Have you had a hard time getting out of bed? Feeling really whacked, really sluggish? Yep, there's a reason why. Or what about, let me know or raise your hand if you've been struggling with a recent challenging event in your own life, in some area, whether that's in your business. For you, it could be in a personal relationship, it could be in a business relationship, it could be with your children, it could be with your parent, right? There is challenging energy happening in the astrological sky right now. So for everyone who feels like, they are going through a tough time, I'm going to encourage you to participate full on for this next hour so that you can walk away tonight feeling more empowered. Okay. So right now, before we get rolling into this training, I would just love to share a personal story with you in case you don't know me already. Because today, I am so grateful that I have my own personalized little mini wellness kit curated by my astrological birth chart that I keep with me at all times, even when I'm traveling, so that I can remain emotionally grounded, calm, and be able to trust my inner guidance to make these important decisions during challenging times. Because at age 61, right now, I sleep well most nights. I wake up feeling refreshed, physically invigorated, and really excited about the day ahead. And I often receive compliments from people who don't know me that I don't look or act my age. And I feel honored every single time this happens. But, it wasn't always this way. If you would have told me 25 years ago that I'd become a leader in the women's wellness industry using astrology as a framework for emotional healing and vitality. I would have thought you were all crazy. No way. But now I understand what real leadership means. It's not about perfection. It's about rising again and again after life knocks you down. And my birth chart confirmed it. I was destined to face some tough, tough lessons. And it was my job to choose how I'd respond, how I'd manage my emotions, recover, and rebuild my life. And I've also faced some serious health setbacks too. And yet here I am, still rising. Because leadership means living your truth, showing your scars, and leading by example. And back in my early 40s, I was recently divorced and really still grieving the recent death of my father while raising two young boys on my own. And from the outside, I looked strong, but inside, I was secretly battling deep depression and even suicidal thoughts. Physically, my body was falling apart and I was screaming for help. I suffered from digestive issues, relentless sinus infections, and many, many unsettled and sleepless nights that eventually led to surgery. And you know what? That didn't even help. And I remember sitting in my doctor's office with my swollen face, feeling exhausted and emotionally numb. And she looked at me and said, "Well, I've flagged all the prescribed medications in your file, and you've reacted badly to all of them. So if you ever get sick, we have no options for you." And she slammed the file, and then there was silence. I was like, I left her office in shock. I mean, I was so scared and I started crying. I was like, what just happened? I felt like I had literally been punched in the face multiple times and I felt so lost. And an hour later, I was standing in the school foyer to pick up my boys with my swollen face when a fellow mom approached me and I shared what had just happened. And she was a newly certified holistic health practitioner. And she gently asked me if I'd be open to trying something different. You know what? I was so desperate. I said, yes, like somebody has to help me. And little did I know that I had literally just opened a door that would lead me down a completely new path, a path to where I am standing here today with all of you. And you know what? That next day, I had my first holistic treatments with her. And for the first time in months, I could breathe. Whew. That night, I slept soundly. And by morning, the pain and the intense pressure inside of my head, it had all lifted. And I felt hope. I couldn't believe it. And you know what? I needed to know how and why this worked, right? The holistic solutions I just experienced weren't taught by my doctor or any school that I had attended. So I began to search. And then one day during my quest, I picked up this skinny little health magazine and I found a tiny little listing on the bottom of a page for holistic schools in the nearest cities. And I felt like I had won the lottery. I was so excited. And you know what? Over the next 25 years, I studied with powerful teachers and I have devoured stacks and stacks of books. But the one course that provided me with the real solutions to help me understand my health and wellness was studying astrology. And when I became a certified astrologer, I started with my own birth chart. That's what they teach you. You're not going to do anybody else. You're going to work on yourself. So after revisiting the dates from my past, when everything seemed to fall apart during a challenging time, I began to notice the patterns that this was exactly when my health always took a hit. And what I uncovered was powerful. Each breakdown was actually a breakthrough, guiding me to keep using holistic solutions and to keep me emotionally strong and healthy. There were no more trips to my doctor. There were no more trips to a pharmacy. I relied on my own notes and I knew what solutions to use. Studying astrology helped me make sense of my entire life. And it gave me a new lens, a higher perspective to see not just what was happening, but also what actions to take. And this is really when the magic happened. Because using my notes, I started to create a wellness template that lists out all the specific tools to stay grounded, clear, and resilient. Notes that I could return to anytime. No more guessing, that would always guide me to recover when I fell down. Now, when life throws another curveball, because it always does, I have the answers because I created a system that works, and it's rooted in the wisdom of astrology, the wisdom of the stars. So ladies, wouldn't you love to have that kind of clarity, confidence, and knowledge? Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't, right? So imagine what's possible now when more women are waking up open to using astrology as a tool to understand their lives from a deeper, more spiritual perspective that can also support your health. And it's not just about your astrological sun sign. It's about using this ancient wisdom to create a personalized wellness template to guide you according to your unique birth chart through your life's inevitable ups and downs. Because let's be honest, right? We all have them. Raise your hand. Have you ever had a challenge? Oh, yeah. Right? Yeah, absolutely. And remember that life isn't here to break you. It's here to awaken you. And yes, it can feel heavy at times, but it's in those moments that your real transformation begins. And your birth chart is your personalized wellness framework, showing when challenges might arise and the exact template and tools you'll need to stay grounded, clear, and empowered so that you can experience joy, radiant health, and a new definition of true wealth. And I would love to show you how. Okay. So I am going to stop and just check in. I just want to check in with my wing woman. How are we doing, ladies? Everything copacetic? We're doing good? Okay, awesome. All right, so let's begin. Let us know. Raise your hand if you're ready to learn the ancient wisdom of the stars that can really support you, right? Yes. All right, ladies, I know you're in the right room. So I'm going to ask you, did you know that on the day and the time and the place where you were born, when you took your first breath here on the planet Earth, literally, it is that first breath, that it created a picture in the astrological sky. Okay. And this is unique to you. So it's like taking a snapshot of the planets, showing exactly where they are. And this is called your astrological birth chart. And it's also a wellness template that's curated just for you. So today I'm going to be sharing this secret information about astrology and that hidden link to our overall well-being using what we call the 4 elements that are represented in an astrological birth chart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you ladies 2 images on the screen. So I'm just going to bounce through here and share the first image. And let me know if you can see the image on the screen. Thumbs up. Awesome. Okay. So this is a very basic example of what astrology is represented by what I'm talking about, the 4 elements. So on the left of the screen, you're going to see the 4 elements. You see fire, you see earth, air, and water. Okay. In an astrological birth chart, astrologers just mainly use the main 10 planets that most is the reference to in astrology. So we have planets that we can see with our naked eye. And then there are 3 planets that we cannot see that are the outer planets, and we need a telescope to see those. In total, there's 10. Okay. Now, amongst a chart of someone, it's basically like a piece of a pie that is divided into 12. And you'll notice in the 12 pieces of pie, with the 4 different elements, you're going to see each element 3 times. So it starts with Aries, right, on the left here, and then it goes to Taurus. So Aries is a fire sign, Taurus is an earth sign, Gemini is an air sign, Capricorn is a water, Leo is a fire, Virgo is an earth, Libra is air, Scorpio's water, Sagittarius is fire, Capricorn's earth, Aquarius is air, and Pisces is water. So that means that those elements are divided, okay? But there's 10 planets in total. So those 10 planets are going to be somewhere within the 12 pieces of the pie. Does that make sense? That's all we need to know, okay? 10 planets are going to be somewhere, okay? Some of them might be in earth signs. They might be together in one sign. You might have them scattered and separated. For a wellness template, we're going to look at and talk about the elements and what they represent, and also your sun sign and your moon sign gives clues to your health and wellness. But for this event tonight, we're just going to talk about the 4 elements. Does anybody have any questions on that? Okay. Now I'm going to show the second image on the screen. And we're going to look at, just for fun. Oh, that didn't bring it up. Hold on. Why not? Let's go back. Brought up the same one. Keeps bringing up. You guys seeing the original image again? Or you're seeing the second image? A different image? Not seeing anything?
We're not seeing anything yet.
Okay, so astrology, so technology is being a little bit funky. Let's try one more time. It's saying my screen sharing is paused. Why? I don't know why. Okay. Michelle, what do you think?
Again, try once more. I think I may have adjusted the setting for you.
Okay, thanks. No, on my screen, it keeps
No?
showing the original image. Are you guys seeing anything at all?
I think
No.
if you go under share, you can replace the original.
Okay, let me try again. Preview. It's still showing on my end that it's showing the correct one, but it's not. Okay. Well, you know what? We'll pause for a bit. Okay. Well, basically, all I was going to show you. Oh, now it's on my screen. Is it on your screen? No? Oh, geez. Okay, we're going to try one more time. If not, we're going to keep going here. Entire screen. Yeah. Now it's on mine. Is it on yours?
Yes.
There we go. I'm such a Capricorn. I just don't give up that easy. I'm sorry. Okay. So what I wanted to show you on this image is what a birth chart looks like to an astrologer, because this is not what you see for the average person. So basically, this is an image, like I was saying, a picture of the astrological sky. It's 7 p.m. Eastern tonight when this masterclass started. Okay. So to a lot of people, it's jibber jabber. It's a whole bunch of weird things and symbols. To an astrologer, this is like magic. We start looking at it, going, this means this means that. But just for this event tonight, what I'm here to show you is an example of how the planets, if you look on the inside of the circle, you see these symbols. So this image here is the sun over in Virgo. You see Mercury's beside it. And the image for the moon is way almost across, and it's in the sign of Aries. Do you want to know why? Because it's been the full moon. We just had the full moon. And the full moon is when the sun and the moon are in exact opposite positions in the sky. And that's when the sun reflects off the moon. And the moon represents our emotional body. So when the sun is shining directly at the moon, we get more emotional. We become more sensitive. We cry more. We just like whatever. So it's no joke how even doctors and nurses who work in Emerge say, we always know it's a full moon, right? Because crazy stuff happens because people's emotional bodies, they get intensified. Now, also what I want to show you, because we do talk about the sun and the moon, is that on the very bottom here on the right-hand side, you see a little chart. And on the very left of the chart, you see F for fire, E for earth, A for air, W for water. That is the disbursement of the 10 main planets, plus some other additional planets. But for an astrologer's point of view, is it divides up exactly where those planets were. So for example, there were a lot of planets in fire signs. There was only a couple in earth. There was a few in air, and there was a few in water. So for me, that is what I'm going to start to use for the wellness template. Does that make sense? Okay, that's all you need to know. But now when I start working with clients, when I also look at this, already I know this person, if this person was born at 7 o'clock in the area that I'm in, that there are indications this person's going to have anxiety. There are also indications that this person might have a little bit of an intensity towards their emotions, meaning they might burst out when they feel angry or they feel agitated. This person might just kind of lash out a little bit and think, oh, I didn't mean to say that. Okay, I know that. So when I work with clients, there are things in their chart that I see right away. And it's like, I can help you rebalance some of these things that are going to be a constant in someone's life or things that they need to look out for. Does that make sense? Yeah. So astrology can be used for absolutely anything, but for health and wellness, there's all kinds of clues in this chart. Okay, so we're going to stop sharing because it's just an example of what it can be. And we're going to keep going. Okay, yes, you might hear a dog barking because there's a storm happening and there's some lightning. So I'm just going to hope he calms down. Okay, so with this information that I've shared with you, again, it's very, very powerful. And so we're going to step into the teaching points right now. So for the first step is, again, if you want to raise your hand in the chat, or raise your hand or let us know in the chat if you are experiencing any challenges in your life right now. Right? Anything kind of crazy or intense happening? Yeah, absolutely. Even for myself, I know exactly where it's going to be and where it's happened. And I'm getting a little bit of a glitch here, but I think I can fix it. Dislocated rib. Yeah. And There we go. Okay. So for some people, it could be one challenge, but for other people, depending on what their chart look like, there can be multiple challenges happening for somebody. And for some people, when you're trying to deal with something physical, or you're trying to also deal with physical and emotional issues, it can seem overwhelming, confusing for someone about even how to start dealing with what's happening. And even for some, the truth is we can't even solve all of these challenges all at once, but we do have the power to start with just one step today so that we can start feeling better, right? Who agrees, right? Just one little step. And that's why we're here tonight, because each of those 4 elements represent a specific area regarding an emotional health or physical vitality that's reflected in astrology. So, is there anybody here that's willing to share and to tell us a little bit about what's happening in your life, some type of a challenge? You don't have to tell us full detail, but is there anybody here tonight who is going through a little bit of a struggle? Susan? Yeah. Can you take your microphone and be willing to share with us a little bit?
Oh, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
What I struggle with, I'm retired and I seem to have low energy and not much motivation. So, for example, I used to love to go in my garden and work in my garden. You know, I used to be quite busy all day, and now I just feel like I don't want to do anything.
Right.
You know,
And
I'm
how
just
long?
content to do nothing
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah. How long? Is it 5 years, 10 years, a year? How long has that been
Yeah,
going on,
at
Susan?
least 5 years.
At least 5 years. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for being honest and to share that. Is there anything else, another word that you could describe? You said no motivation, lacking energy. Is there, even on an emotional level, is there just one word you could describe how you're actually feeling?
On an emotional level, I have trouble thinking of words. Okay.
That's okay.
Just yeah, I can't think of the word.
Okay. Does it?
Uninspired. I'm uninspired.
Okay.
Is
That's
that sounds like an
perfect.
emotion? I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that, because it's your way of describing it. So for me as a wellness astrologer, just even what Susan was sharing, if we were working together, I'm going to be looking for those clues in her chart. And I already know from my 25 years of experience, what do you already start recommending, right? What holistic solutions, because of my background. Okay. So also, Susan, since you were so brave, would you be willing to just give us, I'm going to ask you a couple more questions and just give us some quick answers. And we're going to start discussing those 4 elements, because when I work with my clients, this is how we start. This is how the process actually begins. So tonight you're going to get a glimpse into that. So when we look at the fire element, Susan, and this isn't a right or wrong, it's also going to help you tonight to take action in one area of your life. But how often do you exercise for at least 20 minutes at a time? How many times?
Never.
Never. Okay.
No,
Okay.
I don't exercise.
Okay. This is good. So for earth element, how often do you cook from scratch, meaning in your own kitchen, not takeout?
No, don't do that either.
Okay. All right. Okay. How often do you meditate and spend quiet time by yourself?
I pretty much spend quiet time by myself all the time.
Okay.
And I know how to meditate, but I really don't do it on a regular basis.
Okay. So not much meditation, because there's a difference between being by yourself, but using your mind to empower you. Meditation is different. So thank you for your honesty. Your last one is, how much water do you drink on a daily basis? Meaning how many 250 ml or American 1 cup of water a day?
No, I don't drink. I don't like water. I don't drink water.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, because nobody is perfect. All right. So, with that in mind, and with what Susan is sharing, there are a lot of things that can affect your low energy and how it is that even how Susan has been feeling. And even on when talking about water, it is one of my favorite topics to talk about. And this fascinated me when I learned this many, many years ago, because again, we don't learn this in school, but I always love to share what I was taught. And this was this, that 1 cup of coffee needs about 8 cups of water, pure water, to rebalance the water levels in your bloodstream. Most people are drinking coffee, caffeinated drinks, but coffee is a great example, because what's happening is that you're always dehydrated, and dehydrated is where we not want to be. So just to rebalance, and I use these just to help people, this is 4 cups of water. So 1 cup of coffee, you have to drink 2 of these just to get back to your basic, where you should be when you wake up in the morning, right? And then how many cups of water do they tell you to drink on average a day? 6 to 8. So 2 more of these, right? That's just for 1 cup of coffee. Okay. So we have to remind ourselves that healing, starting to do any type of healing and working on the body, really does take time. And asking for help and being courageous to just take that first step is ultimately your responsibility, because your health is your responsibility and no one can do it for you. And we are experiencing the fall of so many patriarchal systems in our society, especially in healthcare and in education. And as a certified astrologer, this is what's currently reflected in the astrological sky. So it is happening. And in my personal opinion, what that means is that we have the power to take these matters into our own hands and be personally responsible, because this is what the age of Aquarius is all about. We have the power to take it back. Okay. And this is step number 1, which is understanding that everything to do with astrology, when uncovering this information, is always represented by the division of the 4 elements. Okay. So does that make sense? We always start with just those 4 things, those 4 questions, like I asked Susan. Are you moving your body? Minimum 20 minutes. Are you eating? Are you preparing your own food? Because so many people think that eating out and takeout is healthy. And I'm telling you, I've worked in the food industry for many years, and I cook at home all the time. To me, it's not a treat to go out, because I know too much. I know too much of what goes on. Okay. It's not good. Right. And meditation, powerful, powerful to learn how to meditate properly, and drinking water. Okay. So thank you for your share, Susan, because it's a good indication for everyone. So we're going to keep going. Okay. So for step number 2, I'm just going to ask, who wants to have a 1-degree shift right now to help you experience that little bit of magic that you signed up for tonight? Right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So if you're willing to take a few minutes for yourself without any distractions, I'm going to encourage you to just join in on this little experience. And we're just going to do a short visualization together. And all it's going to be required is that you don't have any distractions and you're just willing to just close your eyes. Okay. So if you guys are okay with that, we're going to go ahead. Okay. So we're going to start by just taking 3 deep breaths on your own. So just close your eyes And just breathe in, hold it for a second, and then breathe out. And then breathe in and breathe out. And last breath, breathe in and breathe out. And with your eyes closed, I want you to imagine that you are outside of your own physical body and you are literally looking down on you. And choose to see yourself in your favorite place that always makes you feel happy when you're there. And I want you to pretend that you're either an angel or you're a spirit guide or even a loved one who's passed over and is lovingly watching over you. And just take another deep breath. You have the magic power to energetically send an instant message so that you hear what you honestly need to start doing today. Without thinking, I want you to choose one of the 4 following elements: fire, earth, air, or water. And which of those 4 elements is resonating with you or calling you right now? Trust your gut and repeat that element in your mind. And now, place your hands on your heart and thank your higher self for sending you this message. And then just take another deep breath and then open your eyes. Right? So thank you for participating in that. And is there anybody who just be willing to share or even share in the chat? What element did you hear in that little meditation? And for my women helping me, if anybody's posting in the chat, one of you, if you just talk out loud so we can hear what some of the messages were for people.
Sure, we have. Allison says, I got water, and the message was go with the flow.
Love that.
Yeah,
Anybody else get water?
I did too.
Oh, yeah. And Michelle. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else? Did anybody get earth?
We have a fire. Felicia got fire.
Oh, yeah.
Michelle got water, I think you saw.
Yeah.
Kathleen also fire. Nisha got earth.
So we got an earth. Okay. Anybody? Oh, yes. We got water, fire. Anybody get air? No air tonight.
So far, no air.
All right. Okay. This is good. This is good. Okay. Thank you, ladies. And thank you for your honesty. All right. So you got an intuitive hit because I just want to say it. Sometimes we already know what we need to do. Right. And sometimes if we can learn to just trust ourselves to take action because we know there's something that we can be doing to make ourselves start feeling better. It's just that life gets in the way, especially when challenging times, right? Like when your life is in a funk, it's a little hard to say, okay, I'm going to start doing this, right? So we all slip up. And then we don't make that time to start looking after ourselves and managing also our feelings, like what's actually coming up for us. Like I asked Susan, sometimes it requires a little bit of self-reflection, sitting by yourself and just being honest and, understand what's really going on inside. And then we can start creating a system that allows us to really check in with our bodies. And I believe that the best way is just to focus on taking just one action step. And for tonight, the element that spoke to you today, because when we're feeling down or we're feeling off, it's most likely that at least one of those four elements is going to be out of balance. And for some people, it can be two or three elements that need to be taken into consideration. All right. So again, always trust your intuition. You can always ask yourself, you know, what do I need? And does anybody remember, like when I shared in my story that I felt so lost and scared because I didn't know what to do, right? When I was sitting in that doctor's office, right? So for me, I was feeling lost, and feeling lost, even I also felt overwhelmed, right? And overwhelmed, it's even harder to take the first step, right? So anybody ever felt that way, right? Just too much. You don't know what to do. Yeah. So I want you to understand that if you're feeling this way now, or you're feeling this way in the past, that there's nothing wrong with you. But when you can admit that you don't know, I guarantee that there is someone who's ready to step into your life who does know how to support you. And help is always available. And I honestly believe that there is no accident that you're on this masterclass with me here right now and with all these other women, because I'm here for you so that you can get the support that you need to implement those changes in your life. And also, when I showed up at that woman's house, I was making changes. Can anybody guess? To my earth element, right? She gave me the treatments, right? Gave me some herbs and things to do. And I didn't know anything about detoxing, about having toxins in my body. I didn't learn that, right? So she gave me some suggestions. And like I said, I had to understand why my body started feeling better, right? And that started that journey for me. And again, we didn't learn this in school at that time, because we're talking 20, 25 years ago. So this is important information that we need to know, right? So the recap for step number 2 is to claim just that one specific element that you intuitively know that you can begin making changes, and just stay focused and create that intention. Does anybody have any questions so far? No, we're good. This is good. No questions. This is good.
Katie has a question.
Okay, go ahead.
And
Yes.
she's asking
Can you
what
hear
the
me?
fire. Oh, go ahead, Katie. Sorry.
Okay. Fire came to my mind because last few weeks I've had a whole switch, but I drink only water. So I don't relate to the water because I already drink a lot.
Yeah.
I exercise every day. I have been motivated just recently in the last 2 weeks. I went through the whole year and a half of being depressed, not wanting to get up. I've always worked out my whole life, but was in a real slump after retiring and not knowing what I should be doing next. So I don't know why fire came to my mind. Water didn't, because I already do that. I don't know what the
I love
earth,
this.
the air I already breathe and do that. So why did I think of fire, and what does that mean?
Okay, this is a great question. Okay, so fire is about our chi, our energy. It's what we do also, and you're going to see in the next little part as I go into step 3. I'm not going to tell you right now everything, but if you don't understand when we do that fire, let's stop and make sure you get it. But it's how energy moves through your body. Okay. So even if it isn't just exercising, it's finding something that lights you up.
Mm.
Okay. It could be dancing. It could be laughing. It could be something that in your retirement is, your chart also gives us indications as to more of your destiny. When I start working in with my clients, as we go deeper into the 3 months, there are indications there of what can fulfill you, which has nothing to do with how you make money or any titles or what you do for a job. There's a part of you that it just makes you feel amazing. And that's what I call talking about your destiny. but also for you is to go back. And I would do like a little journal exercise. And I would go back to, like, say, even when you're in your mid-20s, that's what I'm intuitively hearing to tell you, and go back and reflect on what you did that really made you feel happy. Right? And did you lose that? Is there a new way you can implement something in that? Right? Because it's the fire, it represents passion.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Oh, um, I taught for many years elementary. I'm a Capricorn as well. And the passion that it just was aha moment is that I always want to know more about astrology. And I'm all into holistic things. And I already am. I've never in my life, and today is the third day, I've never done a fast. And
Right.
I haven't, and I'm like, can I do this? And I want to change everything. So I feel great in exercising every day. And I haven't eaten since Friday night, just drinking my water, and I'm having my blood work up tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
So, like 80-hour fast, and I just feel energized and I want to do what you're doing.
Oh,
Holistic and
thank you.
astrology.
Yes. And it is, astrology can be used for anything, Katie, anything, right? And wellness, like back in the Renaissance days, when someone wasn't feeling well, they went to what they call a medical astrologer. They didn't go to a doctor, right? So now that we're in the age of Aquarius, we're going to see a lot more astrology in the mainstream, a lot more holistic, like I mentioned earlier. That is a big part. That's why all these systems have come down, is so that we're opening a new door into a completely new way of living. Like 30 years from now, we'll be like, we won't even remember what happened with the global lockdown. It'd be like, yeah, that helped us get into this new era. So go back to, so you kind of answered it there, is your passion. So it's something that's going to make you get up and get excited. Now, just because we're all women in here, and that was a great question, there are other things you can do that can help move your chi and move your energy that is physical. So it can be things like Kundalini yoga, because it's breath work, but it moves that energy up the spine. And on a light note, it's also sexual energy.
I've heard that.
Right? And that can be, you don't have to have a partner to have sexual energy. Like that's got nothing to do with it, but it's how energy moves up your spine, and it has to come with passion and excitement and energy. Right?
Yeah.
So that just could be that, like something that just makes you want to jump up and get out of bed. Right? Does that make sense? Does that answer
That makes
the question?
perfect sense.
Yeah, that's fire. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything that just, like for me, I love what I do because I love what I do. So people say to me, man, you got a lot of passion. I go, because I love my life. And did I have a challenging life? Absolutely. I've had ups and downs, knockdown, constant knockdown. And people are like, how does she keep getting up? Well, what have I been using? Holistic solutions.
Right.
Because my body couldn't take the meds. That's what my doctor said. I had an allergic reaction to every single thing that was given me for everything that my body was going through. So my body rejected it all. But my body does not reject anything from the earth. And what happens is every time I get knocked down, somehow I feel stronger and vital. That's why I don't look my age. All I do is dye my hair. Right? So
Well,
there's truth to that. All the stuff I've been using. And am I perfect? No. Oh God, I've had where a year, I was traveling and living in someone else's house and happening, and my health went down because I wasn't being true to myself. But there were reasons why and whatever. So, and my health took a hit again. And it was like, I knew I have to get back to living the way my body stays strong. I can't eat out every day. I can't. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke anymore. I quit that many years ago. And if I feel like in a slump, and I always know for me, I got to exercise. Because even in my chart, My chart says there's some fire issues going on. So if I am not lit up and not moving my body, I just don't feel good.
Yeah.
Anybody else can relate to what Katie's talking about?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what it's, and it's not about being perfect. It's just catch yourself, right? So your chart always has clues. Everybody's chart, just like that person, if they were born today, I know, because remember in the chart I said only so many fire, earth, water. I know what their weak point is. I already know. Right. So for me, it's easy, but I had to go to school to study that and study some different things. Okay. So thank you for that. We're going to keep going, but we do have time. We'll probably have time for a few more questions too. So we'll just move everybody into step number 3 here, which is your self-guided action step. So if you chose fire, okay, just like what I said to Katie, I'm going to encourage you to move your physical body for at least 20 minutes a day, but doing something that you love to do. And that's the difference. It's not about joining a gym membership and forcing yourself to go there and get in there every single day. Because if it stresses you out, then you're defeating the purpose. Because stress raises your cortisol, and then you've got a hormonal imbalance going on. So I want you to succeed. All right. So it has to be something easy and simple that's not going to stress you out. And for some people, it's just go for a nice walk. That's what I do. That's always my go-to. Just go for a walk. Because when I go for a walk, I don't think about what's stressing me out. I just give myself permission to just go for a walk. Right. And if you chose earth, I'm going to encourage you to prepare just one small meal every day that's not using any processed or store-bought items. Okay, you got to keep it simple. If you can, I'm going to encourage you to use an organic ingredient if it's possible, and don't let it break your bank account. And it doesn't have to be fancy. And this could be as simple as just going to your local store and buying just a couple of pieces of organic fruit or some organic tea to brew at home. Usually organic tea, it costs you an extra $1, okay? Because we don't want toxins in our body. We got to get, we live in a toxic soup and our food is the worst. Okay, so starting there is important. And if you chose air, I'm going to encourage you to sit quietly with yourself for at least 20 minutes a day, preferably outdoors or somewhere where no one's going to distract you. And, you know, when I was young, this was hard. It was hard for me, right? But I literally had to shut that door. Mom just needs 20 minutes, right? So if this means that you have to get up early or just go to bed after everybody else, and I'm going to encourage you to do so. And spend some time with yourself, because your intuition is your greatest relationship. And usually our intuition kicks in when we're by ourselves, right? And when you're feeling down and out, you sometimes might want to be alone, but it doesn't have to be for a long time. But it's good to do that, to connect with your true feelings. And there is also a specific time each month where your feelings might bubble up and feel really, really strong, which simply means to pay attention. Because once you connect with one specific emotion, that is like what I did with Susan. That just helps to determine which natural remedies can be used to help you rebalance and go into a more positive state. So I was asking Susan if she could define it, because if she was my client, I already know what I'm going to recommend for her. I know what tea I'm going to recommend. I know what essential oils I'm going to recommend. I know what Bach flower essences I'm going to recommend, and maybe even what supplements, because your chart tells me all of that. But also sometimes in the moment, it's specific as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about the feelings bubbling up again just in a few minutes. But remember, I said earlier, we're in this full moon lunar eclipse. Remember what I said? When the sun shines on the moon, we tend to get more emotional. So ask yourselves tonight, ladies, or tomorrow, what are you really feeling? Be truthful, because every time it's a full moon is when that truth can really come out. Okay? Always on a full moon. And lastly, if you got water, which some people got water, I'm going to encourage you to reduce your caffeine, ladies, if you're drinking a lot of coffee, and even your alcohol, so that you can raise the amount of water that your body needs on a daily basis, because most people, we're dehydrated, right? We really are. And did you know that even dehydration doesn't affect just your physical body, but it also make an impact on your mood and your emotional resilience? Okay. So we got to have that water up, because you can get severely depressed right away. And it can lead to fatigue, brain fog, irritability, and an increased risk of anxiety and depression. And according to a study in 2018, published in the World Journal of Psychiatry, dehydration was significantly associated with higher levels of depression in adults, especially in women, right? Because this matters. And emotional health isn't just about our mindset and what we're thinking about and what we're feeling. It's about our entire body, how it's all connected. And that's where we have the emotional, the physical, and our spiritual bodies, right? Because our physical body is the only one we see. You know, our emotional body is what we're feeling, what is expressing in our heart, and our spiritual body is that our connection to God, source, spirit, whatever we want to call it, right? So we can't see those realms. Energy healers, we can feel them, right? And if we want to feel better during a challenging time, we have to treat all aspects of our body with so much care. So who remembers, right? That part of my story when I talked about how I started studying different holistic modalities. And over time, I was implementing what I had learned into my lifestyle. So at times it was a lot about the earth element and detoxing, right? Earth and fire, right? I even studied Tantra for a while and started learning about that chi energy, the fire element, right? Because it's just energy. And I just want to say that I'm not perfect, and I always take care of myself because I slip up all the time, right? I don't have a perfect day ever. But when I'm going through a challenging time, I know I have to implement the specific action steps that give me the power to bounce back right away. And I have my own specific wellness template, and it's based on my own astrological birth chart. And then, like I said, I carry these holistic items around with me everywhere I go, and they fit in this size of a little wallet. Okay. So any of you here, do you guys want any amazing results too? Yeah. Katie's nodding her head. Yeah. Allison, I see her nodding. Yeah. And let me know. Be honest. Are you going to take action today? Who's actually going to do something? Lillian, Allison, right on, ladies. Thank you, right? We got to do something. Okay. This is what I'm talking about. And this is what I mean by the magic. We create a shift and an experience in our health and wellness when we take action. And taking action, regardless of what it does, do you know what that is? It's still the fire element, right? It's always the fire. Everything begins with fire. The first element in astrology is fire. The first of anything, the spark. You get information, you get it down. It's a spark, it's it's fire. Okay. So we always have to go there. And I want to know if anybody else wants some additional support from me that will help you understand just something else that you can do on a weekly basis that's aligned with the astrological sky so that you can start learning some simple action steps, right? Anybody else that want to give you another little thing here, another clue? Okay, here we go. So a lot of you women that come to my events are not astrologers. And that's why I want you, because you don't have to be an astrologer to do this and to work with me. But I want to remind you that specific astrological events, meaning when certain planets are doing something in the sky, even on a weekly basis, that can trigger specific emotions that everybody is feeling globally all at the same time. Okay. A lot of it has to do with the moon. So, for example, like I talked about earlier on tonight, we're in the full moon eclipse. Okay. So, right now, the moon is in the sign of Pisces. Actually, it's in Aries, but we're going to talk about the eclipse because we're probably all still feeling it. So when the moon is in Pisces, Pisces is a water sign. The sun is in the exact opposite position in Virgo. Okay. So for the sake of the moon, for our feelings, when it's in a water sign, Pisces is the final number. It's number 12. It is a deeply emotional and sensitive sign. So when the moon is there, we are sensitive. We're sensitive to what people say to us. We're sensitive about what's happening in the world and are turning on the TV, right? Like we feel it, right? We pick up on it because, especially for women, we are intuitive. We are already sensitive. So whenever the moon is in a water sign, we feel what the moon is experiencing. Am I making sense? Yeah. So every week, there's something going on in a general sense. There are things that happen over the span of 6 months or a year, but every week, there's something shifting in the sky, which, can be affecting how we're feeling. So you don't need to be an astrologer because I'm already doing this research every single week for you. So I recommend some very specific natural solutions to help everyone feel calmer, more grounded, and some suggestions to even get good night's sleep. Okay. And when we can manage those emotions, we can stay more balanced. And if we know what those natural solutions are, those holistic remedies, it makes it easier. Does this make sense? Right. So I am reading and studying what's happening in the sky at the beginning of every week. And I'm making predictions on how people will be feeling. So I make a video that goes out and it's 4 to 6 minutes long every Thursday. And it goes on my social media platform. It also goes to my local TV channel. Like the TV station approached me and said, more people need to learn. And she was a woman. And I'm like, yes. Okay. So I have already done the work. And this little video is called Your Time Matters. And it explains what's happening in the sky for the week ahead. I predict what people might be feeling. And I make recommendations on a specific herb to balance if anything's negative. So there's a reason why it's a certainty every week. I also make a recommendation. Sometimes it's a food in the tea. Like sometimes I might be saying, just squeeze some lemon. Like we got to work on the liver. People might be angry this week, right? So it's very simple. I'll teach what to use. Plus also, I will give you an action step to use so that you can use the information based on what's happening in the sky so you get unstuck. So you use the energy in a positive way. Sometimes I'll be saying, it's time to go and sit by yourself. It's time to reflect. It's time to connect with what you're feeling. Sometimes I'm like, what are your goals? What do you want for your future? And this all depends on specific planets. Okay. And there's other information that I put in those weekly videos. Okay. So I do this for free to help as many people as I can. And if you'd like to watch these free videos, then I'm going to encourage you to just stay till the end as we get closer to the end, because one of my assistants is going to post that link for you. But it's if you stay till the end. Okay. And there is a 4-page astrological wellness template in there, which is your bonus gift. And you'll be able to find out how to subscribe to my YouTube channel as well, so that you can receive these astrological insights and the wellness tips each and every single week, right? And I'll be like, okay, Cameron's talking about this. It's a full moon, right? This is what she says we drink. This is what we use. This is what we do. And not only will this help you save time and money by not having to go and study and buy all the books that I had to do to figure all this out by yourself. And literally most of the time, ladies, I'm using items that might already be in your kitchen. Okay. So how awesome is that, right? Yes. All right. So I've done it for you. And also on the front page, I've also written out some information. You can print it yourself or just use it as a guide to connect with what's currently happening with astrology. And you can write out the foods or the herbs that I recommend. And finally, that the spot to take the action step. And you might start to notice patterns. Oh, when it's a full moon, she says this. When it's a new moon, when it's Mercury retrograde, there's all kinds of funky things, because that's what astrology is about. It's about patterns. So that link will be posted at the end. So just stay tuned. But again, now some of you might be thinking about how you can learn even more specific holistic action steps that are based on your astrological birth chart, right? Because today's training is just a sneak peek at how astrology can be used as a template for our health and wellness using the 4 elements. And inside of my 90-day astrological wellness coaching program, I will study each specific element of your unique birth chart to offer even more detailed information on how you can stay balanced by uncovering those exact details about which specific holistic and natural solutions are based for you. So we break down those 4 elements. We start implementing them over the 90 days, right? So if you are in a heavy situation, or if you fall down in the future, you're always going to know how to bounce back, just like me, just how I've been doing. It's like, I already know what I got to do, right? And there's just so much more that I coach you through. And as we go deeper into the 90-day astrological wellness program, you'll learn from an astrological perspective how to manage your emotional and physical well-being, even more specifically to your chart. And again, this is going to be different for every single person. It's different for everyone, right? So who'd want to know more about what's really best, right? Yeah, Katie, yeah, right? Because it's going to be different. And it's going to be what's best for all levels of your body to get those results that you're seeking by understanding more about your chart, including other important planetary placements and a deeper understanding of all of those 4 elements that we discussed today, right? As we're getting closer to the end here, is there anybody that has any questions, or is there an aha or something that it was like, oh, that's interesting? Is there anything anybody needs to ask or that you want to share?
Yes, I would like to know what's in the wellness pouch, and is that something you carry in your purse all the time?
Yes, Beth, that is a great question. What is in my wellness pouch is unique to me, and it's going to be unique to you. And yes, everything that I recommend will fit in a pouch this size. So I do carry this with me when I travel. It's kind of like a clip that I put on. So when I go walking and hiking, I have everything with me. But again, it is about this size. And one of the reasons why it's also this size is so you can put your phone in it. Okay. And one of the reasons why I say that is so that you can follow me on social media, listen to my weekly videos, right? Whether you grab me on social media, because they go across all my social media. Even like one of the ladies said earlier tonight, Lillian, she said, loved your video. We talked about the eclipse on what to do. So, you know, each week I make those videos for you, but also on social media, I'm also giving you some pointers all the time. And sometimes I am explaining about, you know, I'll be saying like, my clients are all saying this. Are you feeling that too? Because you're not alone, right? Like that recent Mercury retrograde that we had pretty much through August. And I think it was July and August. Mercury was in the sign, it was in the fire sign of Leo, and people were just downright angry. People couldn't sleep. They were just angry all the time, road rage, whatever. And I was making a video every single day for 28 days, teaching people how to stay calm and what I was recommending you do, because it affects everybody, right? So it's not a joke when I say, follow me on social media, because it's free, right? And I'm so passionate about what I'm talking about, you know, I love to share. So for every single person, Beth, it's going to be different. There could be specific herbal teas that I recommend. There are going to be some standard things I recommend for everybody, every woman at this age, that we don't realize that we actually need for our physical vitality. But also in my videos every week, if anybody here is into essential oils, I always talk about a very specific essential oil every week for emotional health, because essential oils are not just smelly things, and they're not just things we can use them physically for physical ailments. But my passion when I dove into essential oils 10 years ago was to help so many women understand to use them for your emotional well-being, because that is my background. 25 years of studying plant medicine for your emotional health, right? Because no matter what you're going through, the stages of your healing and your recovery, in my opinion, always starts with what you're feeling. You're not going to move the needle if you're depressed and feeling like crap. You have to feel better first. So in my coaching program for 90 days, you get your own little wellness kit. It's mailed to you, and you're going to start learning how to implement. And with a lot of my testimonials, like I'm going to share one here, women start feeling better like that, because I'm a wizard at this kind of work and I love to help people. And so when you start feeling better, you're going to be more motivated to start implementing all those elements. And then we start looking at your chart, what your chart is saying. This could be a weak point where you always need to go first. Does that make sense, Beth?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Great question. Right. So it's true. You can carry it around, right? You can travel with it, and you're going to need your phone. Okay. I love questions. If anybody has any other questions, go ahead, because this is the point in the class where anybody needs to know anything, feel free to ask. See, the ladies are looking. How's it looking in the chat there? We're good? Okay. Okay. So we've got that, and we're just going to close off. So again, I just want to thank all of you for being vulnerable tonight and for participating. And if you've been paying attention, which I know you have, you've just likely seen how powerful astrology really is. And right now we're living through this profound global transformation, which is the dawn of the age of Aquarius. And even that song, you know, Age of Aquarius, even they explained in that song where the planets were going to be when the world was going to start waking up. So I understand as an astrologer that Aquarius does represent the collective rising together in support of one another, right? So, like I said earlier, we're experiencing the fall of these patriarchal systems like the healthcare system, the whatchamacallit, the leaderships, right? Like the education systems, their systems. This represents Capricorn. Okay, it's about systems, no more, right? We're in the age of Aquarius. It's like the people are going to take over. We're all going to do this together. So we're dismantling all of those outdated themes so that we can all rise from the ashes together. And we're witnessing these shifts in all of these areas, and the time to embrace all of this woo-woo stuff is right now, especially astrology and holistic health, and the recognition that we are all multi-dimensional beings, right? We're not just physical bodies, right? A lot of us are understanding this now. And true emotional health and wellness requires the balance of the mind, our body, and our spirits. And many of my past clients are truly amazed at how I've created like a simple and easy to use astrological framework for each of them to stay organized on a daily basis so that they're able to balance all four of those elements over time and feel more confident, happier, and really tapping into the amazing wisdom of astrology. And, I just love to quickly share a story about my previous client she was already fascinated with astrology, and her name is Maggie. And she was a 55-year-old woman feeling down and out. And she was a senior executive who lost her job following a claim of harassment. Like, she stood up for herself. So she came to me feeling really anxious, really afraid of her future, and depressed. And literally, she was a strong woman. She had lost all of her self-confidence through this, her self-esteem, and her power. And she felt so victimized by the situation. She was angry from the injustice of what had happened to her and how it made her feel on a personal level. Like, I just couldn't believe who I was talking to. And after hiring me, within a few days, she was already beginning to feel much better, and her destructive feelings were replaced by calm and positivity and optimism because she used the specific items that I recommended for her and I created for her in her little personalized astrological wellness kit. And when I studied her astrological birth chart, I validated what she was feeling because it was triggered by an astrological event. And I told her she wasn't crazy. There was a scientific and a logical explanation, and astrology validated it for her. And she became even more fascinated with astrology. So together we created a wellness plan using her chart as her unique framework. And so Maggie began to implement more small yet consistent daily steps that we discussed in the live coaching sessions together. And over those 3 months, we uncovered more information from her chart so she could take action towards what truly would allow her to feel validated and happy. Kind of like what I was saying to Katie earlier, right? There's a part of your chart that's always going to give you clues on what creates fulfillment, right? So now she has a new career and a completely different lifestyle that she loves. And that big shift that she experienced was offering her a moment of personal transformation, right? She loved attending the astrological educational experiences inside of my community. She found more clarity and empowerment as she began to pay more attention to what was always happening in the sky. So she watches my weekly videos, right? And she's now prepared for life in case she's going through any other emotional challenges because she knows exactly what to do, whether it's ongoing or even now for just preventative measures. So imagine having a mentor who not only understands your astrological blueprint, but I can translate it into a practical and easy to follow wellness plan. My expertise and my guidance will help you maintain emotional balance, along with understanding which element really needs to be implemented right away when we first get started. And myself, as a double Capricorn and a natural born leader, I'm fully committed. I mean, it's my middle name, commitment, to helping women unlock a holistic, vibrant lifestyle, one that aligns deeply with their soul's journey. And I understand that investing in a mentorship program can bring up concerns about time and money. However, the empowerment and the transformation you gain are immeasurable, and this will change your life forever. I provide ongoing support in a way that respects your time, ensuring that every moment you invest brings you closer to the balanced and healthy life that you deserve. And I know that I'm going to save you time and money, because there's going to be no more guessing about what you need to use, because the answers are already written in your unique astrological birth chart. And I'm able to interpret the information just for you. So remember, this masterclass is just the quick overview of how I support my clients. And during my 90-day astrological wellness program, I go much deeper into your birth chart to provide those recommendations so you can begin to feel better right away during our coaching sessions. And each client receives their own astrological wellness kit that's shipped directly to them. And each month we focus on implementing one of the wellness action steps so that by the end of the program together, they have everything they need, along with this simple templates to follow along. And no matter if life gets you down again during another challenging time in the future, you always will have the tools available to you, right? They're in your kit. So tonight, ladies, I'm offering a free 30-minute astrological wellness breakthrough session with me. So we're going to review your current elemental challenge that you picked up on tonight. We're going to review your current lifestyle choices to determine where you can begin to get started so you can start feeling better and get some results. And on that call, we're going to see if it's going to be a good fit for us to work and do more work together. So I'm going to encourage you, so my assistant, to if you can post the link. Allison's got it. Yeah. Post the link below. There's limited spots in there for the next few days, and you can grab a spot now. And I just want to remind all of you that you all deserve clarity and happiness and fulfillment, right? That aligns with your soul. You'll only need your exact date and birthplace. So you don't need to know your time. Okay. You don't need to know your time to work with me, right? Because a lot of us don't have that. If you want to know it, I encourage you to go to the hospital or find out where you were born. If it's in a hospital, it's free information. You don't have to pay. You can phone them, whatever, they'll give you the information. So if you're really wanting to have a chat with me, I'm going to encourage you to get in my calendar now. And if you're still here right now at the end of this masterclass, there's a reason that you're meant to hear this, because as an astrologer, I absolutely believe in destiny, right? We're all here. The stars lined us all up tonight, right? And I'm here to take a stand for women like you who are open-minded and willing to take action outside of the box, all right? And I am that lighthouse, shining a light through the darkness in the women's wellness industry. And I would love to work with you to help you go deeper and to find the answers that you're seeking. So the spots are limited. Like I said, calendar is only open for 3 more days. And your journey to a happier and healthier, balanced life is going to start with that one more step. Get the fire going, ladies. Book your call. The link is posted. And since you're all still here, as promised, my assistants, you can now post the bonus gift that I have for you. right? So it's the 4 pages of the wellness template. Inside of that template is also my link that you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. And there's a couple of my social media links. So if you want to follow me as well there, you can, because all that's free, right? You can just start learning, start paying attention to what I'm talking about, and to just get started, because astrology always has the answers, right? So we can start implementing some of the information. Who has questions? Susan's got her hand up. You got to leave? Susan's trying to, let's
Oh,
see.
okay.
There you
I'm
go.
not seeing any of these messages,
You're not
so I don't
seeing it in
know
the
what you're
chat?
talking about. And no, I don't know where the chat is on my.
Are you on your phone?
No, I'm on my tablet.
Okay. Look in your chat, and the links are going to be the last thing that are posted in there. If you put your
Chat.
cursor down to the bottom, it should bring up a bar. On my iPad, it used to come up at the top of my screen.
No, I don't have anything. Um, uh, uh-oh, everybody's gone.
Okay. Susan, post your email address and I will send it to you directly. I will copy and paste your email and I will send it to you.
I don't know how to post it. I can't post anything.
Is it an easy email?
Can't get to her chat. She can't get to her chat.
Yeah, she can't get to her chat. Do you have an easy email address? Something I can write down really fast?
It's my name, Susan, Susan W.
Yeah,
Lehrer. I'll spell Lehrer. It's L as in Larry, E. I
yeah,
don't know what that stands. H
yeah.
R E R.
Okay,
So 2 syllables, Lehrer
okay.
at Gmail.
Okay. All right. So you're going to get a follow-up email from me anyways with the recording, and you're going to be able to reply to it. So I will send you an email, but you will get an email from me tomorrow. Okay. My team will send out the recording, and you're going to get the link in that email to book a call as well, because for people that
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming. Anybody else have any final questions? We are at 92 minutes into the masterclass, and I want to honor your time. Are we good? Yeah? All right, ladies, take action tonight. I guarantee it. You're going to start feeling a shift in your life, and enjoy the PDF and learning how to tap into astrology every week. So for the full moon, it was an intense energy, and we usually feel an eclipse for much longer than just the full moon. So if you've been feeling really tired and whacked, that's the eclipse. Nothing wrong with you. Your energy will start to come back. Okay. But I did make some recommendations for people for some herbs, some essential oils, what to use in the bath, what specific plants to smudge with, because using an eclipse, for an eclipse, one area of your life is going to change. Absolutely guarantee it. Wherever Pisces is in your astrological birth chart, that area of your life is going to change. Might not happen tonight, but over the next little while, some part of your life is going to be shifting. Like it's done, it's over, it's time to enter into something new. Okay, that's an eclipse. Yeah. And it could be because you were here tonight. Who knows? Okay. I want to say thank you all again for attending. And yes, apply. Okay. So we're going to remove you guys from the meeting. Okay. Renisha, thank you so much. Thanks for coming. Felicia, thank you, Felicia. Thank you, ladies. I think in this place there's some alarm going off from the storm. So I could be hearing a ding 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 sound pretty soon. I know it sounds strange in here. It's like there's some battery dinging. Maybe the power is going to go out. I don't know. Strange. Okay. All right. So my assistants, if we can remove everybody.